Hi, my name is Justin Durham, and today I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about the book of Philippians. I don't have time to go into a lot of detail, but I want to share a little bit of the background information and overall themes and overview of the book. It's one of my favorite books, and I'm sure it's some of yours as well. But Philippians, to get started, was written by Paul in the years between 61 AD and 63 AD. It's one of the 4 prison epistles that Paul sent to churches while he was imprisoned in Rome. The church in Philippi was established on Paul's second missionary journey. Before going further into the contents of the book, I would like to share a little bit of the background information on the city of Philippi and the culture of that time. Firstly, the city was a Roman province in Macedonia, Greece, that Rome attained from various battles throughout history. The city of Philippi is actually named after Alexander the Great's father, Philip. So that's an interesting tidbit there. Citizens enjoyed autonomous government, tax immunity, and all of the rights that come with being a Roman citizen at the time. And we see Philippians took great pride in their citizenship, which is why Paul put such a great emphasis on our citizenship being in heaven in chapter 3. There are very few Jews in this time, or in this area at the time, and we know this because when we've gone back to do archaeological searching and stuff like that, we can't find any synagogue, so we know that basically the Jewish presence there was almost non-existent. Greek and Roman religious traditions were rampant, including emperor worship, Egyptian god worship, astrology, and magic were extremely common, and we can see in Acts chapter 16 when Paul exorcised a demon girl she was like a fortune teller, and he was able to exorcise a demon from her. But basically magic and spells and astrology, it was just ingrained in the culture and was just a part of everyday life. There it was nothing that was abnormal. So I want to talk a little bit about Paul's reasoning for writing this letter. Just to name a few, the first one being the church of Philippi had sent Paul a generous gift, and so Paul wrote them a letter to thank them, uplift them, encourage them, just for showing the love of Christ to him. Secondly, he wanted to reassure them about Epaphroditus, the man they sent to deliver the gift. He wanted to explain to them that he was recovering from his serious illness, and then also to uplift him and just show them that he was a good person and like that they should treat him good. And lastly, Paul wanted to deal with 2 women in the church that needed to reconcile. Just a small problem he wanted to write about. But now I want to talk about the overall themes of the book of Philippians. The one main theme is joy. The word joy is used 5 times, and the word rejoice is used 11 times in only 4 chapters. Unlike his other books, Paul doesn't really sharply rebuke this church or have much like negative criticism. It's only just moral exhortation and things like that. He wanted to encourage them for their faithfulness and just praise them for the love that they've shown to him and to each other. Paul talks much about the importance of living in joy in spite of circumstances, which Paul had every right to do as he wrote this letter while he was imprisoned in Rome in a prison cell. You know, that's probably hard to do. I can't even imagine. But we get one of the most popular and prominent verses in the Bible from this book, which is Philippians 4:13, which is, I'm sure many of you know, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And many people use this verse out of context to just say, I can do anything, like I have all this power through God. But really, Paul was saying, whether I'm living in poverty or I have money, or if I'm free or in a prison cell, I'm going to be content because I'm living in the hope of Jesus Christ, which is the main central point of this book, is having hope and joy and through everything we face in life because we have Jesus. Much of the book is Paul's encouragement to the church that though they face persecution and danger, their lives as Christians should reflect the life that Jesus lived and show his love and service for others. In 104 verses, there are 51 references to Jesus by name. And this shows Paul's great emphasis on the hope that we have in Jesus, just constantly saying Jesus' name and the importance that he has in our lives. And one interesting tidbit to note as I wrap up this informational is that the Church of Philippi the women in the church had a significant role. It was Lydia who was the first convert of the church, she was a Jewish woman, and it is well documented in the Macedonian culture at the time that women were able to have more freedoms than most women around the world at the time, and so it was noted that there was two women that served in leadership roles at the time. Well, thank you for listening. I don't have much more time, but I hope you enjoyed the book of Philippians Overview. Thank you, and God bless.